So we are one day away, officially, from the match between Spain and Germany. There is going to be so many talented youngsters, and we're talking about the two best teams overall in the Euros. They will be facing each other, but unfortunately, they are not going to be facing each other in the final. They're going to be facing each other in the quarterfinals. To see a team like Spain and to see a team like Germany, they belong in the finals together. And so I'm going to be honest, I really do want Spain to go through. I mean, like, I appreciate players like Musiala, Verts, Gundogan, Kroos, all amazing players, right? For example, Kroos, he's going to be playing his last few games with the German national team. Gundogan is also a veteran, captaining Germany for the first time in a Euro tournament. And then I also appreciate players like Verts and Musiala for being so young, yet so good based off their age. I do appreciate Germany. But again, I do want Spain to go through because at the end of the day, I am going to be slightly Barcelona biased. There is going to be a huge advantage towards Spain winning the Euros and going through Germany, probably the best team in this tournament, because Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, who will be a Barcelona player, they're going to be returning to Barcelona and with a lot of confidence. And that's hugely going to be boosting Barcelona's overall performance. We need that. And I understand, like I have said, that Germany might also go through because they are going to be playing at home in front of their fans. So at the end of the day, I just don't know exactly who will end up as the winner. But just in my opinion, I do have that slight favoritism for Spain. Overall, for football fans, they're going to be winning because it's going to be a great game. And most importantly, the football fans will be looking at this game and saying, yes, football is in safe hands. With Verts, with Musiala, with Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Nico, this next generation is going to be something else. So I do want to speak about what Pedri had to say about Nico Williams, and the same thing with Lamine Yamal. Later in the video, we're also going to be talking about Musiala complimenting Lamine Yamal and just speak about the overall connection that Musiala does have with FC Barcelona. Starting with Pedri. Pedri did speak about Nico Williams, and this is what he said, and I quote, "Yes, it is clear that he would be a spectacular signing. He's a player who's already showing what he can do at the Euros. Hopefully, he can be with us, but we don't know yet because he has a contract with Athletic Club. What has to happen will happen." And then Lamine Yamal, shortly right after, stated to El Chinguerito that he would like to play with Nico Williams next season. And so at this point, you might as well just put on a Barcelona jersey on top of Nico Williams in the next game if they go through. Might as well. You might as well tell the whole world that Nico Williams will be joining FC Barcelona because all Barcelona players are calling out for Nico Williams. It's insane. There is no PR, no nothing, no media manipulation. The only thing that is missing is Hansi Flick just saying, yeah, Nico Williams is my ideal left winger for the next season. At this point, to just say it does not even matter. We all know exactly what Nico wants and what Barcelona do want and where it's going to go. But it's strange to me, like how at first, in the beginning of the tournament, many of these players were very closed on their response, being very respectful to Athletic Club and Nico Williams. But as time went by, they became very open to talking about Nico Williams and how they want to play with one another. It's almost as if there's stuff going on behind the scenes that we just don't know about. Maybe there is an acceleration on the Nico case, and Barcelona are very much close to signing the player, and these players know it. And that is why players like Pedri and Lamine Yamal are talking about Nico Williams in the way that they do. Maybe they simply just know that the Nico Williams to Barcelona operation is almost finished. And so Nico Williams will for sure be our biggest investment. Athletic Club are not going to be asking for installments at all. They want the full thing up front, the full 58 million euros. They're not going to be doing Barcelona any favor, which is going to make Barcelona's job much more difficult. And of course, the wages also have to come into play because at Athletic Club, he does earn 10.4 million euros. For sure, when Nico goes to his next club, he's going to be demanding for more money, and he's allowed to because of his age, because of how he has been performing. Most likely, Barcelona are going to have to pay around 14 to 15 million euros for the services of Nico, which puts him as one of the top paid players at Barcelona. Does he justify the price tag and his wages? Yes, of course. Not just with himself and the performances that he does provide on the field, but also because Barcelona need a player like him. It's almost as if Nico can demand whatever he wants because Barcelona simply need an upgrade on the left flank. We have other options, right? We have Ansu, we have Joao Felix, we have Ferran Torres, but none of them compared to what Nico Williams does bring. He brings explosiveness, pace, 1v1 ability, traits that I believe Lamine Yamal and Pedri would really appreciate. Moving on from that, I also want to speak about Musiala because Musiala yet again spoke about the Barcelona players, and this time it was about Lamine Yamal. And so this is what he said: showing his level at just 16 years old is really crazy. At 16, I did not even yet have the physical prerequisites to train with the professionals, and he can constantly play along and keep up at this level. It's really cool to see. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is because every time I speak about Barcelona's golden generation, right, this next generation that we are about to be witnessing under Hansi Flick, with Gavi, with Balde, with Cubarsí, with Pedri, with Lamine Yamal, Vitor Roque, Fermin Lopez, Hector Ford, all of these players, right, deep down inside me, I also see Musiala joining us. I see Musiala in this golden generation. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Musiala continues to admire the Barcelona players, the Spanish national team. And once again, these players overall, Musiala is just that guy. He's very likable. He speaks very highly of the talents, and especially the ones that Barcelona do have. And I do have a feeling that Musiala has love for this generation and what Barcelona are building. I have a feeling that Musiala would have no problem playing and building relationships with these players. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you look at the past 25 to 30 years of football, every world-class high technical player that has ever graced the game, like for example, Ronaldo Nazario, Maradona, Messi, Johan Cruyff, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, all at one point played for FC Barcelona. Not play at Barcelona throughout their whole career, but at one point in their career, they played for Barcelona. And I feel like the same thing could go on with Musiala because of the type of player he is. Musiala is up there with Rivaldo, with Ronaldinho, with Ronaldo Nazario in terms of technicality. Now be careful, right? I'm not talking about level, I'm talking about the technique you do have with the ball. Musiala, I believe, does have a time period in him where he gets to join FC Barcelona. I do think at one point we will see him wear the Barcelona shirt. I'm not saying that Musiala will be joining Barcelona and he'll be here for the next 10 years because I don't think that will happen. I think that Musiala will be a player where he will be going to very big clubs throughout his career, maybe 3 to 4. I do see him coming to Barcelona for around 4 to 5 years. It's very much possible, and that is why I'm very optimistic about his arrival in the very near future. And those 4 to 5 years, right, that time period can very much start in 2025 at the age of 22 years old, the exact age Neymar came to FC Barcelona. And if he does stay with us for 4 to 5 years, he'll be leaving at the exact same age of Neymar Jr., right? We talk about Neymar and how great he was and how high technical of a player he was. He did not stay at Barcelona for all his career, nor did he start at Barcelona. So it's not really a crazy thing to think about, nor is it a crazy thing to ask for. Musiala can be here for a good time period. And once again, not for 10 years, not for 8 years, but just for about 4 to 5, where Barcelona do experience massive success. Again, very similar to Neymar and very similar to other players like Ronaldo, Maradona, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, etc. And I feel even more optimistic about Musiala joining Barcelona eventually because of the pull that Hansi Flick will have. He has worked with Musiala before, and I believe that Barcelona will be more German than ever before. We will still see Spanish players, but there will be for sure a couple of German players, and one of them hopefully can be Musiala, if not Florian Wirtz. And so if he does arrive in 2025, there is only one formation that could work if we do want to fit Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Musiala, and Nico all together. And I believe that it will be the 4-1-4-1 formation, where you have Jules Koundé, Rojo, Kubarsi, and Balde at the back. I do not know who the pivot is going to be, so I just place Gavi there. It could be in the future maybe Onana, it could be Zubimendi, it could be whoever. I have no idea. But then if you look at the attacking midfield, this formation can greatly work with Lamine Yamal and Nico on the wings and Pedri, Musiala as interiors. Players like Musiala and Nico on the left can rotate positions. Musiala can go out wide, sometimes Nico can cut back in, and the same thing with Lamine Yamal and Pedri. They can exchange roles, and then you have the full service going to either Vitor Roque or it can be some other striker that we just don't know about. We don't know what's going to happen in terms of the pivot position and the striker position by 2025. Whoever that may be will be very lucky, because with the services of Pedri, Musiala, Lamine Yamal, and Nico, it would be amazing. And I believe that if you can have a team like this, it can definitely compete against a team like Real Madrid, a Real Madrid side that contains Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius, Endrick, and Bellingham, which I believe is a crazier team than the one that I am proposing here. I just expect for Tebas to give us the grace and the blessing to make Barcelona move forward in this way, because it is very much possible and realistic. And let me tell you, the Clásicos would be so back. Can you imagine every time we do have a Clásico in the 2025-2026 season, it includes Musiala, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, then you have Bellingham, Endrick, Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe. The world is going to want to watch, and these two teams, Barcelona and Real Madrid, would go into full force. And so like I said, this is it's a dream, right? I know that this does seem very unrealistic right now at this moment, because we have yet to even hear about the 1-1 rule and the whole Nike deal. But I think that in the summer of 2025, after getting so many deals done and bringing a lot of income in because of the Spotify Camp Nou, this is, again, it is fantasy but possible, because to have Musiala, Pedri, Lamine Yamal is just, it's a whole other level that makes me smile, that makes me believe that Barcelona can be great again. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.